Okay, here we are for a new episode of Pints and Pages. I'm Nick.
I'm Brad.
I'm Aaron.
I'm Levi.
So, there's three faces that you recognize. There's one that you probably don't. So, Aaron's joining us today. We're going to talk about Into the Inklands, Lorcana. We just ripped open some boxes. We're probably going to play some games. And, but yeah, so the podcast is going to be a little bit about everything. It's a little bit of, Into the Inklands. It's going to be a little bit about, Brad's adventure to MagicCon on Friday and, what's coming to the store. We'll probably discuss, I'll probably make everybody listen to Hacksaw stories again, because he's coming next weekend. We also have Brad and Levi headed up to Elkhart to do the Hall of Heroes comic convention.
That'd be fun.
Next weekend.
We'll bring cards. You can sit there and play with this pastime.
Yeah, so there'll be there's a lot going on, so we're going to get right into it.
Yep.
So we just opened 3 boxes of Into the Inklands. Levi pulled a Peter Pan Enchanted,
card,
and you guys pulled a ton of legendaries and a ton of decent cards.
Yeah, I got good cards. It wasn't a bunk box by any means.
No. Would have been nice to get enchanted, but, win some, you lose some, I guess.
Yeah.
I pulled 5 at this point.
Jesus Christ.
I pulled 5, and one of them wasn't mine. It was Nick's box, and that is actually sub 4 boxes worth of cards, pulling 5, because of blister packs. And getting lucky with a Walmart blister pack. But yeah, I thought for sure I was going to be the one to get it. Not this time.
Yeah.
Not this time.
Levi purposely bought a booster box out of the case.
Dude, when I went out for a cigarette, I seen him switch our boxes.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Aaron's bringing extras. Levi's switching my box. I had no chance.
None at all. It was terrible. It's terrible. I like the cards coming out of Into the Inklands. The locations look cool. Can't wait to try some of those. Out of the little bit of, I didn't open a box. I just opened 2 starter decks and a couple of packs, and I was able to build a duck deck. So mine has a lot of ducks in it. I can't wait to get it to the shop and take some of that out and make it a complete duck deck with Daisy and Donald and everybody else. But I put all of them that are Into the Inklands in there that I could run in blue and red. So I'm ready to try that all out. I'm not a seasoned player at all. I've only got a couple of games under my belt, but I'm going to give it a shot today.
Yeah.
And see what I got. So
I liked a lot of the artwork. I liked a lot of the
they were fun.
Yeah. The artwork that they had was I thought spot on for what they needed to do.
There was a lot more characters this time that I didn't know who the fuck they were.
Yeah, you got to stop and think about where they're coming from. This
start
time
pulling from different
not
IPs.
a bad thing.
I think it's smart by Ravensburger, and I don't know if that's their idea or Disney's idea, but
well, then I'm gonna go look up the shit. I watched fucking Princess and the Frog just for the first set. Like, I watched it so I know what the song "Friends on the Other Side" sounded like.
So now you can sing it when you play.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, because we love to do karaoke while we're playing.
That is very true.
It's
hard not to when you're playing a Disney game. You know what I mean? It just comes.
I was singing "Go the Distance" all morning as I was working on this deck a little bit at home, because I put a couple of those in there, and I found myself whistling it, walking around saying it, putting new words in it with my dog's name in it. Yeah,
it was funny the first time that we played. I don't even think we were on camera. I think Brett was with us when we were just playing Lorcana for fun, and he said, "I'm going to play Go the Distance." And the first thing that popped into my head was cake. I'm going the distance. I'm running for speed. It was not the Disney song. I couldn't even tell you where it came from. So, but yeah, there's definitely cards in there. I like how they've been able to put. They've been adding Treasure Planet. They've got some of those.
Got a lot of cards from there.
Atlantis. They're doing some of those.
One.
So yeah, they definitely had my favorite's always been the whole duck. I love the DuckTales stuff. Woo! And the so now I just have to look forward to Darkwing Duck.
Yes,
because I'm sure he's coming in the next set. At least
I
hope.
They better be purple.
I hope
he wears. You would think, but if you look at some of those cards, you're like, why is this character in this color? Like, there was one that I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's weird. The a lot of the Moana stuff is blue, except for there's a couple of Moana herself that are red.
There's some red ones in here.
Yeah, so it's like the blue makes sense to me because of the water, but red does not. But I think it's because they don't want to stick to one color, because then people are only going to be wanting one color.
Yeah, I think I've seen Tinkerbell span pretty much every single thing.
Yes, Tinkerbell
to be able to do that.
runs quite a few of the colors.
The Queen's one that's in like every color, but that's who it is, the Queen. So why the fuck is the Queen in any color other than red ever?
Right.
Like, you got her
the
in
Queen
yellow,
of Hearts.
You've got her in green, and you've got her in silver. I don't think she's in blue. I mean, I'm gonna look.
The Queen of Hearts too.
Yeah.
Why isn't the Queen of Hearts only in red? Because she's got blue cards.
Like, what sense is that? Man?
Yeah, or no green cards. She's got green cards.
Yeah.
There's definitely, the locations. I'm still. It'll be interesting to see how they play, because you can put as many as you want on the thing, right?
From the way it sounds, because there's one character that gets a bonus for each location you have in play.
Oh, okay.
I just don't know if it's kind of like Magic, where you can only have one of each location out. Like, you couldn't have 3 bayous out, or like I said,
I didn't see a rule that said you couldn't.
Right. I didn't see one either, but I didn't know. Like I said, I haven't looked anything into this at all.
I didn't see a rule that you couldn't. So I would think you could.
You play them,
just like cards. Yeah, just like the character cards or the item cards.
But you move characters to the location.
Yeah, all the associated rules are for
correct. You move them to the locations, and then...
I don't think you can move them.
It says it's the same as characters.
Yeah, you can move them from location to location, too. Yeah, as long as you pay that location cost, you can move them as many times as you want. And you can move them even after you ready them, or like after you exert them.
Yeah, they don't have to be ready to be
They don't have to be ready to be moved.
If you got enough shit, you can move them to all their locations in one turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you've got enough ink to do so. Yeah. Yeah, you really can. That's the way I read it. There was a card.
In the... no, that's
I
land
got
out.
one right here.
Oh, I meant the land itself, because I'm looking at how it's...
I didn't want to look at my cards because I didn't want to shuffle again.
Oh, yeah. Agrabah. Yeah, but like, that's how much it costs to play. That number's what it costs to move a character there, and that's its health, and obviously that's its lore it gives you.
And you get the lore at the beginning of your turn.
Oh, okay, I didn't know if
because you can't. Yeah, so right at the beginning of your turn, you automatically get 2 lore.
And then,
see, I was hoping it was end step.
But what if you play it, you don't get the lore?
You gotta wait a whole turn.
You gotta wait till the next turn. Yeah. Yeah. So,
which I think is their way of balancing it, since some of them have like 2-3 lore on them.
Yeah. And if you destroy a location, the characters live.
Like they just
go back out onto your battlefield, if that's what you want to call it. The characters don't die, just the
I'm looking at
the
rulings,
location.
And now, granted, this isn't on Disney's exact website, but I've seen it now twice in 2 different articles. You cannot move them until the location is banished.
No, it says in the card.
Okay. I haven't read
it
that
says,
card.
Here you go. During your turn, you can move one of your characters to one of your locations by paying its location's move costs. Your characters can only move to your locations. A character can move to a location the same turn either one is played. It doesn't matter if the character being moved is exerted or ready. There's no limit to the number of characters who can be at a location at a time. A character can't move from a location except to move to another location. You can do this by paying. So basically, once you're at a location, you can't just leave and go back to the battlefield.
Right.
You're there
until it's banished. Or you can move to a different location. I wonder if that's what they're talking about. You just can't. No,
the way that the 2 articles I've read worded it, you can't move, period, unless it's banished.
No, that's somebody that obviously just wanted to.
Well, what I'm saying is now that I've seen 2 to 3 articles, this is going to be a mass spread of people don't understand
misinformation.
this.
People are going to not listen. To reading the card. Oh, that's the professor's thing. Sorry.
Well, that was my thing. I straight up said I haven't read the card yet. I'm just Googling things at the moment.
Yeah, it says right there that's what you can do. And gaining lore at the start of your turn, gain lore equal to the lore value on the location you have in play. Note that this is not questing. Only characters can do that. Because your card is meant to play horizontal and not vertical. Yeah. So it's already exerted.
It's going to add a whole nother depth to the economy of like moves you make during your turn, right? Because now you got to, or am I going to check on a character? Am I going to take care of
right? Because the ink now is just not for bringing characters out. Now it's for
interacting on your board.
For interacting on your board, which is not a bad direction to go.
We're starting to get to the complications.
Which is not a bad direction to go because then you have to manage the ink.
Well, and wait until they start giving other colors ramp besides blue, so that it'll actually function. Because blue kind of sucks if you play the ramp. Like I know you like playing the blue, but the ramp portion of it is very harmful in the way that it's designed.
You gotta counteract that with being able to have cards that let you draw.
Yeah.
If you're using everything for ink and you run out of cards, then it doesn't matter if you have a bunch of ink on the board. You have ink to play, then you're screwed. So.
Well, I mostly like referring to like the Detective Mickey, where it's like top card in your library, and if you haven't looked at that top card, then you don't get to see what it is.
Well, it specifically says face down, so you don't.
Well, if you play a Befuddle or whatever the hell that one is, well, not Befuddle. Develop your brain. You get to look at the top card. Anything that where you can top deck it and make sure that what you're inking is going to be good.
Yeah.
But then you have to build your deck around that, and then that removes room for some other type of card type. Like there needs to be an ink ramp formula so we don't fucking get punished. You know what I mean? Like for using that ramp. Because otherwise games are just going to be slow. They're going to release those big cards and we're never going to get to them to play them. It's just going to be the slow, the quick aggro guys who's like, I can operate off low mana. I'm going to fuck you up. Control your board.
And that's typically what I do because I don't think I've ever gotten more than 5 ink in a Lorcana game.
Yeah, I mean,
I always get like 10 ink every game almost because like mine's ramp. So
and you got the big cards that if you're playing, because I've seen enough people play at this point. There's a lot of people to your point that play like you go through their deck and that's all it is 1s and 2s just so they can keep just getting cards out. It's just go, 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 go.
And that's also people who might not quite structure their deck right, but that's how you can play without needing to know how to structure your deck right. You can still get by with that weird shit.
Like the equivalent of just mashing the buttons.
Yeah.
Or like putting 13
that's a good way to
of
put it.
Dalmatian puppy into your deck.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Give that a whirl.
But I found that when I was going through my deck today, because I was like, okay, I'm going to do ducks because I thought they were cool and I thought it was fun that they had a bunch of ducks. So I went through and I did ducks and I was like, I started to sift through and I was like, I don't have anything that's a 1-drop. Like I didn't have any 1-drops once I got, and I was like, I've got to have some. Like I can't have none because, it's like I got to have my soul ring somewhere. So it's like, so I went through and put some 1-drops in there just so that I'd have something that I could bring out on my first turn because if I'm lucky enough to pull it. But
fucking, what is it? Turn 2 or 3 queen, the shift queen.
Yeah,
that's the most satisfying thing ever. You put the queen on drop 1, and then I think she shifts for 2 into a 5-dropper. So like you get a 5-drop card out and turn 2. That's so much fun.
The shifting is powerful. I I've noticed that.
The shifting is if you can put the right shift cards and you get to pull the right thing, the shifting does seem to be it seems to be powerful and very useful. A good game mechanic for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. And they haven't went wrong with a lot of the game mechanics. I mean, the shifting seemed to go really well with.
I like how it's not. That's how you play it too. Like you can also play the ink cost because I have a deck. That does some shit with the number of Floodborn character. Like when you play a Floodborn character, it'll trigger some of my low drops. So I have Floodborn characters in there with no shift targets until I get all my morphs put in. But
it gives you options because even if you ramp up to put heavy hitters out there, if you put a heavy hitter out there that costs 9 ink and then someone uses banish, well, there you go. There's your whole turn to waste. So it's nice to be able to kind of get them out on the board if you need them to. So.
Yeah, I'm interested too because now I'm reading the cards because I read I not that I didn't read the cards, but the first set comes out, and you're playing and then Rise of the Floodborn come out and they actually called out, hey, if you have Floodborn characters, which I didn't realize they were in the first set too. So then you start looking at the other cards and they're like, I noticed that some of the character cards are called like Dreamborn. Yeah. Some of them are Storyborn. So I don't know if we're gonna get sets like the next sets are gonna be like.
Yeah, I didn't notice that either until the Floodborn set came out. I was like, oh,
I was like, oh, okay. I guess I should have paid attention to what was in that line. But there are like
Storyborn.
There's Storyborn and there's Dreamborn.
I think that's literally what the set was referring to. We're boosting this mechanic in game, like they were just saying the Rise of the Floodborn. This is the new mechanic is Floodborn Matters.
Matters.
Like it was like a little teaser in the fucking name. Yeah. And like into the Inklings, we get location.
I'm wondering if Ravensburger was planning this all along. They were just waiting to release. They already had the mechanics ready to go.
Oh, I imagine
they had 7 sets, is what I heard. They had 7 sets.
I knew they had several sets.
Well, they've already announced the dates for 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they got the rest of the year mapped out. May 17th is set 4. I think it's like August 9th or 8th is set 5. And then November, right before Thanksgiving, we get set
I was going to
6.
say, it seemed like they thought this out pretty well with waiting a little while to release it and having a stockpile. So that way, as that stockpile is releasing, they see the reactions and they can keep building the next year's worth of shit while everyone's reacting and giving feedback on the last year's.
I think it's fresh. Right. I think it's smart they're doing it quarterly and not monthly, like Pokemon and. I mean, Pokemon. I don't know that they're monthly.
They're like one every month and a half, 2 months probably, but just based off tweets I see.
But yeah, it seems to be maybe twice a quarter. Magic's once a month. I think Ravensburger's doing it the right way, once a quarter. Because
I would rather have Pokemon right in the middle of it because I think once a month is way too much, but I think the quarterly is, and just Magic wise, Lorcana it makes sense. Magic wise, I don't think it's enough to keep the pro scene going the way that it does because the new sets are constantly introducing new ways to shift up and
Magic's already announced that in 2025 their 2 big sets are Final Fantasy and Marvel. Yeah. So I mean they're years out. And
they've always been
that's
3 or 4 years out.
Definitely going to MagicCon in 2025 because the way they set up their extra goodies and shit means they're gonna I hope the Marvel one is stateside.
The Universes Beyond set next year with Final Fantasy and
Las
Marvel
Vegas
will
Wilds of Eldraine pisses me off. I didn't know.
Will be like that'll be huge.
And also, if you remember when they announced the Marvel thing, this isn't one set of Marvel. I believe they said it is going to be multiple things of Marvel coming out.
Well, and they did that with Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
They did a couple of sets for Lord of the Rings.
And that continues. We're getting 2 every year.
Lord of the Rings?
Yes.
Like, so we're going to get like another holiday set and another...
I don't know I don't remember the exact wording of it, but I think it's going to be 2 holiday sets a year with full arts and pretty shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
A complete set of cards in Universes Beyond, because Universes Beyond is traditionally some new cards with reprints. New art treatments.
Okay.
So, like...
Right. Yeah, the big thing is the art treatments.
For a casual player like me, I think Lorcana's release is good. It's hard for me to keep up as it is, I think.
I do
going through all the cards.
I do think once a quarter. Yeah, I think once a quarter is good. And honestly, and you hit it, like the casual player.
2 months would be good.
And then with it being, I mean, here we are, adults playing it, but they kind of like they try to keep it simple for kids too.
Yeah.
And kids and parents, them doing once a month, man, parents at some point will be like, hey, you got to choose.
Didn't I just buy this for you?
Yeah. Are you playing baseball this season, or you want Lorcana cards?
I feel like I
can't
haven't
do
even
both.
gotten a chance to look at the Floodborne set. We're already at Inkland, so
Yeah.
for me, it's
And that was
baseball
once a
player.
quarter.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
exactly.
So I get it. But yeah, I think once a quarter is not a bad idea, especially.
I like it for Lorcana for sure. But
Yeah.
Final Fantasy, though, maybe I need to start playing.
I was just saying,
That might be the time I jump
Final
in.
Fantasy.
The huge set. I mean, there's Marvel, but I think they're gonna pull a lot of players from different areas bringing out Final Fantasy, because there's a lot of people that just love Final Fantasy.
I don't know if we're gonna get more players.
It's more in universe, I feel, as well.
Well, I think it's gonna be more people trying to buy the card. Like, the sales are gonna do fantastic. Like, if you start selling more things on TCG, you'd see a spike as soon as it releases, and then as soon as it's gone, you're gonna see that fucking plummet.
Well,
Because I doubt most of them stick around. Because if you're coming in just for a Universes Beyond, you're going to be deeply disappointed when they do it one time.
Yeah, well, the Doctor, I got a lot of people that came in and bought Doctor Who sets that don't play Magic. They just wanted the Doctor Who
It's
card.
just the trading card aspect.
They
more
just
than
wanted the
game,
card.
right?
Yeah, they just wanted the card.
Which is cool and all, but I just don't think it's going to boost players by that much. It'll boost sales.
I think it'll boost it. I think a lot of people will come
I don't
in.
know. The shit reeled me in. Doctor Who kind of helped a little bit. I wasn't a big Doctor Who fan, but to see something like my wife knew about, grab it, and then I started looking at all the other things.
Yeah.
I don't think it's impossible. Like I said, I just think a majority of them tend to fall off.
Now the Marvel set might pull some people in.
I don't know. I think that one's gonna piss a lot of people off.
I think it's going to piss a lot of the.
Why would it piss them off?
Because it's just a money cash grab.
Yeah,
well, I mean,
we
that's
brought Marvel into our Magic.
They did Dungeons and Dragons. They did Lord of the Rings. It's all money.
Come on. All right, so I guess the better wording for that is
Iron Man or Gandalf when it comes to Magic.
Lord of the Rings and those sets are still, it's Middle Earth, it's high fantasy, which is what Magic is. Sure. Marvel's is nothing but superheroes, sci-fi, comic books, which isn't too far off of where they're at, but
it's kind of fantasy, sure, but
it's not the same thing. And then it's just
comic book covers.
So I guess the Fallout release then will be about the same thing, right?
I don't
know.
It's
It's like guns and post-apocalyptic.
I've seen mixed feelings on the Fallouts. Mm-hmm. I've seen mixed feelings on all of the Universes Beyond, just because a lot of people feel like it is all just a money grab.
Right, a gimmick.
Yeah. Because my only complaint with them is, like, with some of the Universes Beyond sets, like in Fallout, they're introducing radiation counters, because, radiation is a big thing in Fallout.
Mechanic.
It is.
It's so cool.
But then the radiation counters are only going to come out in Fallout, because it's only related to Fallout. And then
I don't know about that.
Now, some...
because
I'm not saying they couldn't expand on it, but just the way it has been is they introduce a mechanic.
I guarantee
It leave like that's it. The set's 2 years out of rotation. It's not in print anymore, and now the only reason those cards spike is because you can't get them anymore because they're not keeping that up because it's just for that set.
I could see
you're
that.
Not wrong, though.
Yeah, you're not.
That.
You're definitely not wrong.
Yeah.
The thing with
banding.
The thing with stuff like that and Magic is, it always seems to come back around because, like, I mean, I've seen you do it with old cards out of sets. They're just like, oh, you're gonna play this? Yeah, I'm gonna bring something out of nowhere, just like the Jurassic Park stuff.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's just like I can ruin your day by playing something that has nothing to do with what you guys are playing. You know, and bring out the Fallout deck that doesn't jive with anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because nobody else is playing that way, and it, and after a little while it might hold up, but I don't know. I think the Marvel will be interesting because they don't fit. Like they really, they don't always fit. Like, but you could say the same thing about Doctor Who.
Yeah, I guess that is true. I didn't look at it.
I mean, Lord of the Rings fits, D&D fits to me,
Here's
but Doctor Who really doesn't.
No. But also, you see how all of the Doctor Who went. There's not any cards unless they're serialized that are worth any amount of value, and nobody wants them unless they are the Doctor Who fans that joined in with.
Right. The other thing is, and we're all I'm not.
I bought all 4 of the Doctor Who decks, and I used 3 of them.
But
because I worked second shift, I didn't get to buy any of the decks. I just had to pull cards.
But I do love you can go through my deck now, and like my Soul Ring is a Doctor Who Soul Ring because I like the artwork.
Yeah.
Like my lands are all TARDISes sitting in a swamp because I love the artwork. So I could see where Marvel would be more geared towards that. Maybe you buy all 4 commanders, and it's every card in the set, just like you do with Doctor Who. And it's just like you got an Iron Man and Captain America, a Hulk, and a Thor set, and you're done.
Well, they've already announced they're doing way more than that.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
okay.
a multi-set project.
Yeah,
this
is
all right.
like the way they described it was as if besides for Final Fantasy, Marvel is all the focus on
It's gonna be
Universes
drafting.
Beyond next year.
Drafted. It'll be like just every type of product, like a normal set.
And they're gonna-
It's gonna be modern.
And it's
legal.
multiple sets of
It's gonna be
it coming
modern
out.
legal.
Like I think it's.
Huh.
I wonder if because they keep saying multiple different products and set releases of it. I wonder if they might not do it in the phases of Marvel. Here's Marvel Phase 1, all the cards from the Phase 1 movie. Here's next set, it's Marvel Phase 2, here's all the cards from Phase 2.
Doctor Strange Phase 1, did he? Or is he Phase 2?
He's Phase 2.
He was Phase 2.
He was
Phase
referenced in Phase
Phase-
1 as Stephen Strange is a person of interest by Hydra.
Yeah, Phase 1 is
That was
going
the
to
That's
be
because they
Soldier.
needed a new Doctor.
Iron Man, Hulk, Thor,
Because what's his name was toast.
Captain
on the
America.
computer.
That was Phase 1.
The Avengers, essentially.
Yeah. Black Widow.
Yeah, she
Hawkeye.
would be in that. They didn't have solo movies, but they were in the
They
Avengers.
were in the Avengers. They'll be companions.
Yeah.
But here's the
Oh.
thing.
No, they'll be companion. They'll be partner with each other.
No, they'll be partner, like Black Widow will be partner with Iron Man because she was in Iron Man 2.
No, man, Bruce Banner.
Right?
Well,
Oh,
you
okay.
can do this either way because also Budapest.
Uh,
Hawkeye.
Oh,
Yeah.
They
or-
constantly reference Budapest.
Yeah, and Hawkeye made that special appearance in Thor. You could put him with the Thor.
he was.
Thing.
He fought.
Magic,
Yeah.
I mean, Wizards, if you're watching, and we know you are, it's fine. And, I mean, listen to us. You need to make this shit work. So,
Give me Ant-Man, give me Doctor Strange, give me Wolverine, and I won't be at your door bitching.
yeah, that's the other thing. Like,
I need a Moon Knight.
I want, like a Fantastic Four deck would be amazing.
Well, it comes out in 2025 with I don't know.
With Fantastic
Yeah.
Four.
Fucking 4 commanders. You get the whole 4.
yeah,
Four
each,
commanders.
Each,
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's the commander decks. It's just one of each.
It's
Yeah.
one of each one, yeah.
the Thing deck,
Yeah.
Richard,
Sue
Reed
Storm.
Richards, and
Sue Storm and Johnny Storm. That would be fantastic.
You get them as partners, Sue Storm and Johnny
Yeah.
Storm, and then you got Doom as the 4th deck.
Have
Yeah.
they-
Yeah.
Did you see that they did announce no more Kang Dynasty since we're kind of
they changed the name. It's not gonna be Kang Dynasty.
Did they change the name?
They announced that they dropped Kang Dynasty. It's still an Avengers movie, but they dropped the words Kang Dynasty, and they admitted that they stated they're doing Doctor Doom. Like Doctor Doom is in
Doctor Doom, and Doctor Doom's the only major character that they haven't announced for the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, and they have
because they've named all the actors for the Fantastic Four, but not.
I didn't see that.
Pedro Pascal.
Did they announce the villain?
They haven't even announced that Doctor Doom's really the villain.
I'm mixed feelings.
Maybe
on
he'll just
Pedro
cameo
Pascal. I like him as an actor.
I love him.
I don't. With everything we've seen him in, I don't think he really shows that he makes the best Reed Richards. But also,
he'd have been a good Johnny, but he's kind of too old.
He's too old for Johnny.
The Fantastic Four movie,
it's almost too old for Reed Richards. They're all the same age.
With their track record, I'm not going to get my hopes up, to be honest with you. I'm just not. It's been so bad lately, they've screwed it up. And
well, this is Marvel's first go at it.
I feel like if it's not
Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, Fox has had the other versions and did not do very good with it. This is the first time that Marvel Studios get to crack at it.
Yes, and
I thought it was odd that all the stuff coming out about it is saying that Reed Richards is going to be
Pedro.
No, is going to be Ant-Man's professor.
Oh,
it's
really.
So Reed Richards worked with a lot of people.
So are they setting the Fantastic Four back in the 30s and 40s?
I bet you they're probably gonna be like Hank Pym probably just hangs out with them.
Yeah, well, it
said Ant-Man. It ain't gonna be Paul Rudd.
Is it set in
right? It's gonna be Hank Pym, and that's the one I could think of Scott Lang. I couldn't think of Hank Pym.
Yeah,
but the article that I read said that right now it's rumored that the movie is going to be like they're going to introduce Reed Richards as Hank Pym's college professor, and I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. So are they setting the Fantastic Four in like the 40s?
Watch it. Fucking Paul Rudd's gonna go through this thing where he is like, okay, I wrote a book, I was a hero. He's had that whole fucking crisis of just being a face walking around because he was Ant-Man.
Yeah, right.
So now he's gonna go to college. Community college or some stupid shit. He's going to go to college. He's going to get into college. But either way, he's going to be like, it's going to be the putsy fucking, he's in college. And it's all these young kids who probably treat him like he's old and don't know who Ant-Man is. And then, there you go. There's your Reed Richards.
Well, they didn't say Scott Lang. They said Hank Pym.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they said Hank Pym.
I was also going to say, don't forget, this all takes place after Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah. Let's do the time warp.
Yeah.
So, who knows what happens after this?
Well, and
with time travel, anything's possible.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe because we know Nathaniel Richards, or who becomes Kang, is the one who invents or figures out the multiple dimensions. What if Reed figured out time travel but didn't say anything to anyone, and he just did it himself?
It could be.
That could make it so it's Hank Pym's college professor. He discovers time travel. Maybe he discovers it through the quantum realm the same way.
Or when they go up in their rocket ship and end up with their powers, they lose time.
Well, so
they come back.
Well, that is
and it's been 50 years, but to them it's only been 35 minutes or something.
That's a real thing that's happened.
And that's why they didn't help with
anything else.
Well, no, because during Agatha, I'm thinking of something else.
Agatha Soul Cauldron?
I was thinking of Harkus. No, when they did the Hex. Agatha and Scarlet Witch. When they did the Hex.
WandaVision?
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. But I thought of, because Agatha's got a show coming out.
Yeah.
When does that come out?
But anyway,
I think they pushed it back.
They referenced astronauts because what's her name's an astronaut.
Monica Rambeau.
Monica Rambeau is an astronaut. So I think her astronaut friends are those, or she's going to be the one that fucking discovers this lost
September
astronaut.
19th.
Okay, this year then.
So
yeah,
like,
that's
it'll be-
interesting.
Monica Rambeau's going to be the liaison, I guess. Like, that'd be my prediction.
That would make sense. That would make sense.
Like, she's going to have to be
but
in it.
spoilers, right? Because, I mean, have you seen the Marvels?
I've not. But it's okay. You can spoil it for me.
Okay.
She's just an astronaut.
She's an astronaut, but at the end, she's not in this universe anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
In the extra scene,
In
she's
the
extra scene,
it cuts to Beast.
she's
in another fucking
Big
universe.
blue Beast.
Yeah, excellent.
And,
Okay.
she jumps universes somehow.
But it's-
I
it's-
haven't watched the movie, but
It's a beast larger proportion than a beast we have seen. Everybody's comic book, or everybody's suits are more comic accurate, kind of like the Wolverine one.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
but it's still Kelsey Grammer.
Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah.
But he's
okay. I was going to ask if it was
enormous.
CGI or
He's
what
like-
it
yeah,
was.
he's
It was
like-
CGI.
He's
Okay.
like Hulk, smart Hulk size.
Oh wow.
And I know I've heard shout out New Rockstars. They brought it up. They believe that one reason they used him for that end credit scene was to test to make sure that it actually looked good and like his walking, his animation style, and all of that. And it was because he's only on screen for like 8 seconds or something
Yeah.
like that. And you see him walk across the room
What's-
while talking and using very scientific words.
Maria Rambeau.
And it was kind of a test to make sure people were going to be okay with it.
Photon?
Right, that makes
Because you
sense.
know how the
No,
internet loves to
that's-
tear
I thought
people,
that was
tear
Monica.
studios
I
apart.
mean, those
Yeah,
two probably tear apart.
Maria's
but,
the
yeah.
mom.
Is Fox
Maria's
still
the
on
mom,
X-Men,
but
or did
she's
they-
dead in
No,
our
Disney
universe.
owns them?
Disney owns
What
Fox.
was the suit she's
Oh well, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So then, now
Oh,
it is their
in the-
property then.
in
Yeah,
credit?
it's all
She
their
was wearing
property
the
now.
photon suit,
Awesome.
wasn't she?
Was it?
I'm excited to see about that the '90s reboot for the X-Men cartoon.
Oh, the
Oh,
97,
yeah.
X-Men
I hope,
97?
I hope that turns out because when I was a kid, man, I used to love that.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
My brother-in-law tells me I need to watch it all the time.
It was. Yeah, it was a solid cartoon. It will be interesting to see how they do with it. I talked to Binary. That's who she was.
Yeah, Binary. Was
Binary.
Maria
Yeah.
Rambeau's mother repurposed.
Yeah, and then, but yeah, I was talking to a guy at the store this weekend, and he was excited. He said that Deadpool and Wolverine is the first time he's been excited to see a Marvel movie in forever.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Okay.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
So Binary's real name's Carol Danvers. In another universe.
Oh, in another
It's
universe.
It's a alternate. This is where Carol Danvers originally came from because Captain Marvel traditionally was a man.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, right.
So-
right.
In the
okay.
comics, they
So you're
flip
saying
back
they're
and
gonna-
forth
they're gonna
between man
gender
and
swap?
woman.
Captain Marvel now? Is that
Not
what- is that what
technically,
you're
they already
hinting
did.
at? Oh,
Yeah, because in the comic
Yes.
books, in the comic
Marvel's
book,
also a man.
yeah, Captain Mar,
Right.
he was Mar-Vel.
Marvel. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's-
okay,
No,
but
that
I meant
was-
like you're saying they're gonna switch.
No,
back.
that was
That's what
DC.
you're getting
Yeah,
at.
No,
they're
that is
returning.
Was it?
I can go pull out my
her to
comic
the
books,
actual
yes.
Carol Danvers role. So this is what's more crazy is because now you got two Carol Danvers, but they're two different people, and one of them knows the other version of her from her universe is someone else, and it's got it's like
Good God.
fucking
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
that-
would-
that's what
For
you
the,
get
for
when
the
you're fucking
Fantastic
lucky
Four
in
movie, I just hope
multiverses.
that we get to see, or don't see, the invisible plane, right? They're all driving in the... You just... Yeah, exactly. They have to do that.
But yeah, Tony Walters was the one that I was talking to this weekend, and he seems to think that that like all the failed movie attempts over the years, like Channing Tatum's Gambit movie, and
I don't
Daniel-
remember that.
yeah, so
Yeah, he was supposed to be Gambit.
Channing Tatum was supposed to be Gambit, like they were going to do a whole movie, and then
They got stuck in production.
It
hell.
got stuck in production hell because they struggled with
Like the Nick Cage fucking cameo.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So like he thinks that Channing Tatum's going to be Gambit in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
He also thinks that we're going to see a
It would
Daniel Radcliffe version of Wolverine.
Well, that's what everybody. That's what the
Like,
internet's
yeah.
got buzzed.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
yeah,
I think
well,
it's going to be great.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it'll be
Well,
good.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
I've heard some people, because a lot of people want him to be Wolverine, and since Hugh Jackman said, as far as I heard, he said he was only coming back for this movie, not.
Oh yeah, no.
Dude,
When
he's
they're
like
done,
60s,
when
man.
they're
Oh,
done,
yeah.
they're all. I think they're all going to be gone, and
I
we're
think
going to get a
these-
whole new
Yes.
version of them.
I was going to
all.
say, That's what I was about to say. Is I think we'll see both. I mean, obviously we see Hugh Jackman, but I think if we see a Daniel Radcliffe Wolverine, it'll be them introducing him as our Wolverine.
You think Harry Potter is going to be the new Forever Wolverine?
I don't think it'll be bad.
I don't know, man. I don't think.
Just think about the meme with him and the guns. Just put claws on it instead.
I think someone's already photoshopped that on there.
I mean, probably.
I don't think that. I don't think he's going to be our Forever Wolverine. I think he'll be in it, but I don't think. I don't think he'll. I don't think he's the Forever. But I could be totally wrong. I'm just excited.
You're gonna call him that. I get he's famous for Harry Potter, but he just played Weird Al.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
He did.
You got motherfucking Weird Al's gonna be Wolverine.
Yeah,
that's right.
He was amazing in that Weird Al movie.
I haven't seen it yet. I know it's it's a joke movie.
Oh yeah, no, it's a total joke movie. Like they sold it as a biopic, and you.
I thought it was until you told me it wasn't. Because I didn't watch trailers or nothing. I just kept seeing Weird Al.
I've seen some clips. It looks pretty fun. Actually.
Yeah, I sat down and watched the whole entire thing, and
it
was
trafficking drugs or doing drugs.
He is like the world's largest music artist, and like that's how the movie goes. Like he's selling out like 100,000 people stadiums, and he's addicted to drugs, and he's married to Madonna, and like Madonna gets kidnapped by a drug lord, and he goes to like Colombia and like is like going through like Rambo style, killing all these people to rescue.
Tell me that's amazing. He can't be Wolverine.
Like it is fantastic. It is fantastic.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. It's a total satire on his whole entire life. It's fantastic.
And Weird Al completely supported it, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, no, I
thought he helped fund it.
I think he was in it. He helped. He was the slimy. I think he's the slimy record producer or something like that. It's hysterical.
Good part for him.
But yeah,
to chop up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a fantastic movie. Fantastic. So,
how much time we sitting at?
41.
We'll
not too bad. We got time.
We'll switch because I want to get into MagicCon. Even though we've been talking about Magic. Brad did go.
Chicago.
Yeah, Brad went to Chicago this weekend, and
let's rotate the camera right on the Brad.
Went to MagicCon. And had some experiences.
I had a good time. I had a great time. I like to sit at panels at conventions, so I'm not your normal guy. So I made my day mostly scheduled around sitting there at the stage watching like different things. So I got to see.
Shot myself. I cannot do panels.
I got to see. Oh, I gave up towards the end. Don't get me wrong. Like I pushed myself a little too hard.
But you can only walk around the vendor's hall for so long. For like, all right, I've seen everything.
It takes.
I enjoy the panels. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoy sitting in there and seeing.
I'm picky about it. I agree. You can't walk around the vendors forever. It gets real boring real quick. But for me, panels get real boring real quick if it's not something I really care about.
Really want to hear.
Well, and I only had one day, so like I couldn't really take advantage of everything and enjoy it. But I got there, and I when you walk in, it was kind of weird because you come in and you're on a lower level floor, and they have everybody staged in this big fucking room. It was kind of like it just looked ominous. Like this room went on forever, and we're all staged in lines, and then they let you up the escalators, and that's how you get on the floor. And then they had the whole big ass pro tour area where it was just the pro tours going on the whole time. You can't really walk through there or anything like that, but you can sit back and watch them. But I did a quick lap, tried to look at every booth, at least eye shot, kind of get the layout. And there was a lot of people selling singles, obviously. The prices at like those kind, like you had to kind of watch what you were buying because it felt like they were a little higher priced. But any sealed product you seen was generally like pretty fucking cheap. Like it wasn't bad. I didn't buy any fucking Magic cards at all the whole time I was there. Because of the way the prices were, I couldn't find my specifics. Like, looking through the cases was a fucking nightmare, trying to track stuff down. And there's just so many people to ask them. It's like, kind of tedious for me. So I didn't buy any cards, but I also realized that I could get the same prices for a lot of these sealed products other places and not necessarily worry about it. but they were still helpful people, and they were buying cards. So, like, if you needed to sell cards, you could literally sit there for an entire day and sell thousands of fucking cards to the vendors, who are then going to turn around and sell them on the floor. And, like, I don't know, it was kind of cool. There were a lot of artists that were signing, most of which I didn't really have cards to have signed for. The one person I was looking forward to the most wasn't there. I don't know why. I was like, it said she was supposed to be there all 3 days. And I was really hoping to see her. You know, shit happens. That she was from out of country, so, like, who knows? You know, plane could have got in late as fuck.
Yeah.
Flying across the Atlantic, you know. I don't know. I'm trying to think of, like, when you walk in to a convention, you kind of look above everything and see the big ass area, and, like, this was one of those where, like, you can't really tell what the fuck's going on. Like, you see right away where the play area is, and you know, like, okay, here's the casual play, and then, like, it's just like, I don't know, they've got it packed pretty tightly in there. And
didn't you do, like, sign-ups for the events? Or
they did. They had lots of sign-ups, but it was hard to differentiate the people selling their cards and stuff. Like, it was kind of crammed in there, and it was hard to visually register what was going on.
Where can I sit down and play, or what's, you know?
No, like, you could see where you wanted to play, but when you were trying to hunt products and go between the sellers, like, it was just hard to kind of tell what the fuck was going on between them. Identify whose booth you were at. So, like, I definitely recommend those guys doing that to have a bit more flashier shit going on.
So do we need to bring, like, LED lights that say Savini Comics in big old letters on top?
Actually, that's not a bad idea.
At least signage.
Well, and it's like they would have a lot of their products on shelves behind them. The singles would be on tables flat, and you could layer, you know, one layer of singles out. Some of them would have them so cram-packed, and then they'd surround their booth with tables, and you'd look through them there, but then all their sealed product is clear on the back, and I'm like, all right, Commander Precons look the same from their sets. And you can't read the fucking card.
Well, that's...
There's 100 people in way, and you can't see what the fuck's going on. So
the old ones definitely had their own unique style.
Well, no, it's the older ones that look more similar, because there was, like, a fucking solid 3 years of just red boxes with the color combos. And
well, it'd be red, blue, black, because I know we got the Planeswalkers ones when they came out.
Well, like, what I mean, though, is, like, those boxes, like, I seen walls of them, and you could not discern without asking them to bring the fucking thing over. Like, do you have this? Do you have that? Like, there could be an easier way.
You'll need to bring with you, those fancy tiny binoculars.
Yeah, I know, right? No, I don't need those. So it was kind of hard to discern some things. Of course, you recognize packaging for the most part with Magic. They make it easy to see, like, at a distance as far as, like, booster boxes and stuff go. But it was a little confusing. People weren't too fast. Like, nobody really wanted to move too fast to this convention, but everybody was really nice still.
Was it shoulder to shoulder, like, super packed, hard to get
if,
through the aisle
if you were at a booth, or if you were anywhere near something, yes. But if you were in aisleways, like, you could walk around and move freely amongst the place very well. But at any point of interest, it was like they had horse blinders on, and they're just standing there in front of these cases for a fucking hour. And I'm like, hey, bud, you know, other people want to fucking look at a card that's right at your crotch.
Gen Con last year was, like, the biggest. I think it's just every year it's, like, more and more people, and it's just so packed. It's hard to get anywhere.
It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't hard to move in between. The stage area stayed pretty reasonable, just like at the beginning. So, like, the fashion show came through, and there wasn't many people, a lot of open seats.
Like a cosplay parade?
Yeah, well, it was like all the merchandise from there, and it was like famous creators and influencers from Magic and stuff like that.
Okay.
Just wearing the different clothes they had available. And then, trying to think of what was after. I can't remember what was up after that one. And then it was the preview panel, and, like, each progressive panel filled in more people. And then by the time they got to game nights, it was so fucking packed they needed double the amount of chairs they had put out, basically. And that was fun, except for, of course, people wanted to leave their bag in a chair and not let somebody sit down. There's a lot of that.
Yeah.
they could have had the stage elevated more because the people in the back could not see.
I had the exact same experience going to some events at Gen Con where it was like they signed up too many people for this. If I have to sit 100 yards back, and I'm exaggerating, but it should be more personal. You know what I mean? Especially if you're.
I wouldn't have minded if they would have made it something like that. Then I would have been.
Did they have
lines for it?
TV screens up?
Yeah, you could see
what was going on.
What was kind of going on, but it was still uncomfortable because I'm sitting here like this, just crammed in there, and I was literally in the very last row because I had to get up and go to the bathroom, and when I came back, of course, the fucking seats filled in, and then people weren't. Oh no, I'm holding this for someone, and then you wait. You literally would watch it for a half hour, and they never move their bag. And there was one pregnant lady, God love her, man. She came up to this dude, and he's like, "Hey, it's pretty obvious whoever you're saving these seats for aren't coming. You need to move your shit and give them up." She's a lady with a baby, and he quickly pulled his phone out and was frantically texting and calling, and next thing you know, this big, humongous fucking dude comes over and sits down in both of those chairs because he needed both of them just to sit down, and I'm like. That fucking sucks because there was literally a spot right there someone could sit in, and then I had an open spot next to me, and for some reason nobody would just sit the fuck down. I'm like, I ain't taking it. You free seat, join in because one of the big dudes eventually got up, and then I couldn't fucking sit there no more. I just had to leave, but it was still a lot of fun. They ran around the crowd and got in pretty close. Mark Rosewater holding the fucking title belt, standing there. He's he's worked at Magic for almost 30 years, man. He's the lead designer, I think, for cards for the last 20 years.
Yeah, I saw him holding that title belt.
That was
picture you sent.
Yeah, it was a very Savini Comics moment. I was like, fucking title belt, Magic dude. I'm it's just where the guys at, man. We'd have just fucking carried him up there.
Yeah, we would have got more on our shoulders.
Yeah, they just fucking carried him right on up there. No, it was great. Something else was the fact that there were so many famous people from the Magic world as a whole. Yeah. YouTubers, streamers, professionals. I can't even sit here and try to list all the fucking names, but I seen everyone, and most of them were on the floor shopping and buying stuff just the same as anyone. I'm drawing a blank on some of the names, but I think I ran by Veggie I don't know how many times, and then I ended up sitting with him in line outside of the House of Blues. There was a cosplayer there. God, I can't remember any of their fucking names right now. But no, they were all just walking around, and they were nice, and they were more than happy to take a picture with you or sign something real quick. There wasn't a single person there that made you feel stupid for wanting a picture or a signature. And it seemed like everybody was pretty nice about it. Nobody was here, sign all my shit. Here's everything. I need a picture and I'm going to touch you in it, No, it was cool. The House of Clue after party at the House of Blues was quite possibly one of the coolest fucking things I've ever been a part of. You could get a ticket that was open bar, and by God, I'll fucking recommend you buy that ticket fast if you have an opportunity when something like this happens, because it was expensive to drink otherwise. Yeah,
it up fast.
Yeah, it did add up fast. It also added up pretty quickly. I had to leave before the end of the party because I got a little too drunk. But no, more celebrities, but this time they're fucking cutting loose. You watch any of the arena players on YouTube at all?
Not
there was a lot
specifically.
Of
I just kind of I'll jump around and find them.
Well, I just remember at one point I'm sitting there and I'm talking to this gentleman, and I can't remember his name either, but he was a friend of Veggie's. He also had a couple other Twitch streamer friends that do arena that are close friends of his, and then he also plays with one of the guys from We Came as Romans. That's part of his Magic pod. And it's these streamers and YouTubers, and he was the fucking nicest dude ever. He just sat there and talked to me for a while. And then I look up and Amy Amazonian fucking cutting a rug hard as shit on the dance floor. I'm like, that's fucking hilarious. And then there's Teferi's Protection or Teferi Magic, the cosplay guys over here taking pictures dressed as, I think what was the character from the new set Murders of Karlov? Was he Aliquist or? He was dressed up as, he looked great. And then, you know, like Joe's walking around from Tabletop Jocks, and I got my picture with him. And, like, it was just all these people, and they're all drinking and carrying on. And, like, you wouldn't have known anybody was famous, and you wouldn't have known anybody wasn't at the same time. Like, it was just real cordial. And they had, like, hidden little scavenger hunt stuff all over. And I think he got rewarded for something. I don't know what the reward was. I drank my way to the party. Like, I stopped for some sake at a Japanese place. I had a couple cocktails at a little hidden bar that was right by my hotel. So by the time I got there, I was good and juiced, and then I made it worse. Time. Yeah, I made it a little worse, and I was like, I'm not going to be able to fucking do these puzzles. I have somebody hold my hand. But no, it was cool watching everybody run around. A lot of people dressed up in the era themed, like trench coats and fucking
the
fedoras and
the clue, whole detective
noir. Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, noir.
Yeah, very
noir.
very noir. So it was pretty cool, man. I would have to say you've got to go for at least 2 days. If you go to a MagicCon, you've got to go for 2 fucking days.
I would have went, but it was my mother-in-law's birthday.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think that, like, hearing your experience and how you were able to, like, take part in, like, everything and meet people so easily, I don't think it'd be smart to not go next year. Like, just shut the store down and go. Like, a bunch of us just go.
If I wasn't so fucking shy, I would have had 30 fucking pictures to show you guys. I would have had everything in my bag signed. But I was like, man, I don't want to bug them because they're already, they're already handling some fans. And
they're just trying to have fun and enjoy themselves.
And they were. And, like, every time you seen them where it was a good opportunity, I'm like, they'd be, like, pointing at something over at a booth. Or, they had their friend or their significant other with them. And I'm like, oh, it's cool. I'd walk by and be like, hey, I love your work. Or, I'd say something like that. And they'd say thank you. And then I just on my way. Yeah. At one point, I wish I could remember, he was a professional, like he was a tournament pro, but he walked by me and he's just got this big, huge fucking piece of pizza in his mouth, and I was like, I looked at him and I double checked. I was like, oh shit, hey man, how's it going? And he's like just munching away on this pizza, and like I just kept going, like I probably pissed you off. But I'm like, oh fuck, I've like seen who it was, man.
But I really, I've got like, there's so much going on right now with the store, and different things that I'm doing. I really wanted to do conventions like at the beginning of the year, and it really hasn't panned out the way that I thought it was going to. Because I've got a lot of stuff going on in the store this year, but I really think that I need to try as much as I can to hit the convention circuit.
It was some of the nicest event staff I've ever fucking seen.
Try to do Chicago, try to do Indianapolis. Hopefully Hall of Heroes will go well. That's kind of the trial run, which unfortunately I can't take part in because I'll be at the store with Hacksaw. But
MagicCon, I don't know what the prices for booths are, but you better bring lots of Magic products.
I think if we did a Magic
fucking lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think if we would have done had a booth at MagicCon, you probably would have sold out in the first day, which is good, but B, that then makes however long you paid for the booth pointless.
Right.
Because at the moment, you don't have the mass quantity of products that these people fucking bring.
Right.
The singles keep you
afloat.
Singles too.
And I don't even know if...
or we just fire sale the fuck out of fucking booster boxes.
Yeah, and I don't even know if I get a booth or we just go to have fun and enjoy ourselves.
I think it'd be one of the things that I think we'd go... at least for the first couple times, to say something like a MagicCon, we just go as people. especially because your store's not very big at the moment, and we're not big at all with our like 5 YouTube viewers.
Right.
But that could be the shit
9.
that sets
We've
you
got
off.
9. Damn it.
Right.
Hey, that's good.
Hey, we got 9.
I know. I gave it a nice fucking what I was gonna call an even number. 5's not even, but I like the visible numerals of 5.
We actually our last podcast got 17 views or something. Not that we're bragging, but
it's only up from here, right?
Right.
Exactly.
Right. So, but yeah, I would really like to hit the circuit. I looked into Gen Con actually, but I don't think that that's my realm. To have a booth.
It's tabletop gaming more than I mean, you can get comics there, I think, but for the most part, it's just
and it was super expensive
for a booth.
Yeah.
One of the most expensive.
It was triple. It was quadruple what I'm paying for all the heroes, and it's triple what I would pay if I go to PopCon. So, and those crowds, I think, are more geared towards the comics and the cards than they are more to what I do. PopCon, IndieCon, and Hall of Heroes, I think, are more geared towards my crowd than Gen Con is. So I think it makes more sense.
We would have had a blast, and it would have gave us, if we go for more than one day, then you have a reason to be a little more at peace with missing things, because I really wanted to buy some merch there, but that fucking line was 2 to 3 hours the whole time. So if I got an extra day, that's my first thing on the day.
Gen Con for the past 5 years, and I've only gone single days, and it's not enough time. It's just not enough time.
Yeah.
It's last year I tried to squeeze all the events in as I could, and still give me vendor hall time, but you end up rushing from point A to point B between every single event, and you just don't have time to just chill and walk your own
and
pace,
enjoy it.
I mean, it was enjoyable, but like you said, it's you're rushed.
Out of the, because I left it a little before the show. I think I left at 6. Out of that time there, that would have been about 8 hours on the floor. I probably had 2 hours of it where I wasn't waiting for something or going to something, and it was a 20 minutes here, 15 minutes there, or I've got a shit, so I'm making this at 20 minutes.
My only issue I run into with conventions, since I'm not a very big panel person, and for the most part, the Comic-Cons or C2E2s I've been to, there's not a shit ton of events necessarily to do. It's just panels or the merch floor. I just end up doing laps around the merch floor for hours.
So here's what, you are a great source for us, because if you want your merch for free, you wait in line for me.
Sounds good to me.
I'll be sitting at a fucking panel. I'm like, here's $200. Go buy my shit.
Tell me what you want, Brad.
Yeah, you get your shit too.
I'll go stand in a fucking line for 2 hours. I don't give a shit.
If
I was gonna say I won't care that I'm missing panels or the only thing I would think I would have wanted to see is the game nights live.
Well, and that was the thing is if you would have waited in line for the merch, if I wasn't such a fucking stupid asshole, I would have been in that line and then stood there and watched it the whole time, probably with a better view than the fucking...
Than where you had with your seat.
Yeah. Just my body was really fucking starting to hurt at that point, because that was hour 6. It was fucking... Their game went long, too. And I was like, for fuck's sake, I can't even tell a half what's going on. I'm going to watch it later. I need to pee. And then I want to apologize to the hot dog vendor, because I was in such a fucking hurry that I got a hot dog and then just walk the fuck away. I forgot to pay for it. Because they didn't have me pay before he handed me the hot dog. So my brain farted out and I was delirious and hungry, and I just grabbed it and fucking walked away. And I got to where I was halfway through and I'm like, I didn't even pay for that. You're
gonna go next year, and that hot dog vendor's gonna.
Yeah.
He's gonna have wanted posters hung up everywhere.
Do not serve this man.
Do not serve this man until he gives me the $3 for a hot dog.
No, $9.
Oh, I figured as much.
It was a fucking Chicago dog.
Oh, was it a Chicago dog? So, have they said Is Chicago going to be a place where they make it regular?
No.
They always
doing
change locations.
every one of them's at a different location. I think they're doing 30 MagicCons for 30 years. They started for the 30th anniversary.
Oh, okay.
So all ones last year were the first ones. Amsterdam's the next one. Then they'll announce another date at some point for November.
Okay.
I think. Or we'll get to the end of the year, and that's when they'll announce.
Are they doing like one a quarter? Is that
They didn't announce Chicago until November, if you remember correctly.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm looking at it right now. Granted, this doesn't have dates on it. It just says there will be Amsterdam, and Las Vegas.
Las Vegas already happened.
Okay. Well, this says for 2024.
So they'll do Las
November,
Vegas,
and then he just went to it this weekend. That's quick for trying to get like booths and vendors and
and they did good. They said it was the biggest MagicCon attendance so far.
Wow!
It sold out. It actually completely sold out the floor.
How are the badge prices?
Great. To be honest, they were great. And if you got the big spicy ones, then you got extra shit to go with it. But I was like, you better go 3 days if you're doing one of those, because otherwise, like, you're just going to skip a day and get a bunch of shit. Yeah. But no, it was, I'm trying to remember, what's the House of Clue? And
House of Blues?
Yeah, House of Clues, Blues.
Blues Clues.
Blues Clues? The House of Blues Clues?
Oddly enough, no blue was there. I think it was like $100. It was $50 for the party, and I think $40 for the Friday.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, and it was just a normal standard Friday, because I was like, if I don't buy premium, I can buy a pack of cards for the difference, and it's the same thing. Everything they were giving away for free, you could have bought on the floor in a larger quantity for probably cheaper.
Saturday badges for Gen Con, I think like $80.
I think there was a difference in price for Saturday
something.
and Sunday.
Yeah.
So I found the dates for it. They're obviously MagicCon just happened in Chicago. The Amsterdam one's in June. Not like we give a shit about that one. And then the Las Vegas one is October 25th through the 27th. So, birthday present.
God damn, that's wedding anniversary week. I
told
Alex
after my
next
birthday.
year- I told Alex next year we'd wait.
That's
I thought
next
it was
year.
supposed to be.
This is this year.
Oh, that's Vegas next year?
this
That's
is this
Vegas
year.
24.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I thought that
2024.
they already did a Vegas.
That was last year.
I didn't know they were going to go. Maybe
Yeah.
they will go to the same place twice. And they did Minneapolis once.
They did do Minneapolis. I know that.
Yeah, this is the
yeah.
full 2020. There's only 3 of them this year, and it's those 3.
I definitely cannot do Vegas in October because we're taking your sister in November.
Yeah, I still don't know the
That's
dates
the end
for
of
that.
October. Just make it 2 weeks. You're good.
I don't have 2 weeks of vacation.
It'd have to be like 3 weeks.
Yeah, because 25th through the 27th, and then my sister's birthday is November 10th.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So
So that's like
Hey, we're
3
moving
weeks.
your birthday this year
Yeah.
to MagicCon.
Well, and the
Just
whole
fly to Amsterdam.
the whole
She won't be
point.
21 until...
Yeah, she won't be 21 until.
Dude, okay, I went to Vegas as a 16-year-old. You can go places. Still.
I've never been to Vegas.
Neither have I.
So
You can go to the fun places, but you can still go places. Actually, you can go to most of the fun places. Just don't touch the machines and stay on the path.
Yeah, you gotta stand on the walkway. I've been told that. Unless you're over 21.
That actually, you don't even
Watch out for the
encounter
people
that.
trying to take your picture and charge you money for it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they got robbed.
Hmm.
They got robbed for cheap Chinese jewelry, too.
I think the only funny thing I can think of that I heard of is when my cousins went. One of my cousins is military police, and like he was back home for a little bit, and they went for my other cousin's birthday. As they're walking down the strip, a guy just Molly Coke weed. You want it? I got it. And walked past him, and he's like pulled out his bag and was like, "Should I flash it at him? Should I scare the shit out of him right now?"
Wow. Just out in the daylight, just calming it down like that.
Yeah, just screaming.
That is how it works. I bought it
That's
that way.
crazy.
From
I bought it that way.
It's legit, too. He hands you drugs. You just bring your own bag because he didn't bring one for me. I had a pocket full of weed.
Now
it was before
I
it
was
was
saying,
legal.
now weed's
Yeah.
legal there, so you could just walk into a dispensary.
This was a time where it wasn't recreationally legal in any state.
yeah.
Like, yeah, it was like fucking.
I was gonna
over
say,
a
I don't know if
decade
that's
ago.
bold or if it's just the policeman. Who cares?
Yeah, pizza.
It's Vegas. What happened?
Pizza.
Yeah, you had a pizza box.
Police don't fuck with pizza men.
They don't.
This is before DoorDash too, and he was just wearing
He's
street
just
clothes.
walking around with a pizza
I was gonna
box.
say, I know when I worked for Papa John's as a delivery driver, we had one of the cops come in and be like, "Listen, we're not saying to do this, but all we're saying is, as long as it's not reckless driving, do whatever the fuck you want." He's like, "You guys have a job to do. We got a job to do. You don't fuck with us. We won't fuck with you."
Yeah.
It's not there in 30 minutes. It's free. So.
Thank God we never had that policy.
And then don't ask questions when I need a large 2-topping pizza for free.
All right, so is that where
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah,
I
think we're
get this nice
I think,
sweater
yeah.
and this playmat.
I think we're about ready to wrap it up and
I gotta
play.
take a wicked list, man.
Yeah. So all right, that's been the episode of Pints and Pages, and we talked about everything except for don't forget that Hacksaw Jim Duggan is going to be in Logansport, Indiana next weekend, and signing autographs, 2x4s, taking pictures.
I'll be out back selling 2x4s,
and these two nice gentlemen are going to be taking.
Out back at Hall of Heroes convention selling 2x4s.
Taking
drive down.
Savini Comics up to Hall of Heroes convention in Elkhart, and
come visit us.
yeah, and go visit.
If you're that guy from Canada and you drive clear to fuck to Hall of Heroes, it shouldn't be that long because I mean it's the northern part of Indiana.
Yeah, up north.
It's like 3 hours from some Canada.
Yeah, some Canada.
I was like, I was in fucking Quebec. I don't know.
So, all right, yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and call it a day. I'm Nick.
I'm Brad.
I'm Aaron.
I'm Levi.
And we'll see you next time. See you.